Zubri followed Kovu in the Pride Lands. He was looking around to see the animals enjoying their life in the Pride. "I'm sad that Simba is gone," Zubri said as he walked beside Kovu. "I just wish I got to know him better, with his past. It's a very long story, but it's also a very dark one at that," Kovu replied. "Can you tell me about who Simba was?" Zubri asked. "A long time ago in the Pride Lands, the Pride Lands were once ruled by a king named Mohato. He was Mufasa's grandfather, and he ruled the land until his heir, Ahadi, married a lioness named Uru, and they became the king and queen of the Pride Lands. After Uru and Ahadi heired the throne, they had 2 cubs," Kovu said, beginning to explain about Mohato along with Ahadi and Uru. "So who were the cubs that were born to Ahadi and Uru?" Zubri asked in confusion. "Ahadi and Uru were Mufasa and Taika's parents. However, Taika was renamed Scar later on," Kovu explained. "Ahadi chose Mufasa to be king. As for Taika, he was jealous about that. So Taika wanted to be king, so he tried to get his brother in danger to kill him as a cub. Man, I never wanted to meet a lion who's that evil," Zubri sighed and replied. Taika then got into a lot of trouble, and Mufasa was getting all the attention most of the time, mainly leaving Taika out. "So Taika used to be the leader of the Lion Guard," Kovu replied. "He got a scar when a snake bit his eye, so Scar lost the Lion Guard, and he wanted to be king, since his scar represents his toughness." "Man, why did Taika want to be king so badly over jealousy?" Zubri asked as he and Kovu walked to a watering hole. "When Mufasa was chosen to be king, Taika thought that he would be the better king. Sadly though, he never got what he wanted. So shortly after Simba was born, he renamed himself Scar and he killed Mufasa," Kovu continued. "He exiled Simba as a cub, and then he took over the Pride Lands as king." "How can someone be so cruel, do such a thing, especially to a past king?" Zubri was shocked by the story that Kovu was telling. "Scar killed Mufasa by throwing him off the cliff and he fell into the stampede. A few years later, Simba returned to Pride Rock and defeated Scar and claimed his rightful throne. Then he and Nala had my mate," Kovu said to Zubri as the 2 lions stopped at the watering hole. "Then Zira tried to do the same thing?" Zubri asked Kovu. "I think I heard Belle mentioned her. She was one of the outsiders that supported Scar?" "Yes, she was, but Kiara got the outsiders on her side, and Zira didn't want to accept," Kovu sighed. "And then she fell into the river, and that is how the outsiders are welcomed back into the Pride Lands." "Wow, such a great story about the kings of the past," Zubri replied in wonder. "I wish I could be king someday, just like Simba was." "Simba is alive in spirit, Zubri. How I know is a mystery," Kovu said as he and Zubri looked at their reflection in the water. "If you look closely, you can see that Simba lives in our hearts." Zubri looked closer until he saw Simba in the water. "I see him. He must be there with his father," Zubri replied as he and Kovu saw Mufasa beside Simba in the water. Zubri then looked up to see the clouds forming. Simba, and his spirit, was watching over Kovu and him. And Zubri. "Kovu, you have taught Zubri about the circle of life," Simba's spirit said as Kovu looked up as well. "Yes, I did, Simba, and none of us in the Pride Lands will ever forget you," Kovu began. "You taught us many things, and Kiara is doing just fine." "That's good to hear, Kovu. You're doing well as king, and Zubri, being the future king, he'll one day take the throne as you will pass on someday," Simba replied as Mufasa's spirit was beside Simba's. "My son has taught you many things, Kovu. He didn't look deeper into who you truly are, especially when Zero was plotting to take back the Pride Rock. We're very proud of you and the Pride," Mufasa added. "So you're the king that Scar killed in the past. Is that true?" Zubri asked Mufasa's spirit. "Yes, it is, young lion. I see a bright future as king for you," Mufasa replied. "We'll be in the gates to heaven when your time comes for you to join us, Kovu," Simba said to the former king. Thanks, Simba. I'm going to teach Zubri more as time goes on. I'm keeping Belle safe for you guys, Kovu replied. I'm glad Belle is doing okay. Me and my father are watching her grow up. And we're also watching over the Pride Lands, Simba said. So whenever you or Zubri are feeling alone, look for us in the stars, as were the great kings of the past, Mufasa began. Just you and Zubri remember that all of us as kings are here to guide you all. Well, we'll remember that. Thanks for everything you've taught us, Zubri replied, as Simba and Mufasa's spirits in the clouds slowly faded away. Kovu then turned to look at Zubri. He walked over to the young lion. See what I mean? Simba and his father are in the sky, Kovu explained to Zubri. All the kings in the past are up there in the clouds in the sky. Really? Zubri asked. Is it true that they watch over us from the clouds and the sky? Yeah, Kovu replied. Just remember, Zubri, whenever you feel alone, just remember that all those kings are here to guide you, and so will I. They also have to look over the queens as well. Like Sarabi's up there? Zubri asked. I heard that she was Simba's mother. Yep, she is up there as well, Kovu replied to Zubri's question. She was once the king of the Pride Lands, Mufasa's mate and Simba's mother. She was a good queen, even when Scar was ruling. She stood her ground until shortly after Kiara was born. She sadly died of old age. So Nala will be up there one day as well as with her mother? Zubri asked as he and Kovu walked away from the watering hole. The two lions were heading towards the herd of buffaloes. Now Zoo. Here is a herd of buffaloes, Kovu began as he and Zubri both crouched down. I want you to see this. You see that calf? Yes, I do, Zubri replied. I want you to charge down and hunt down the calf, Kovu instructed. That'll be a decent meal for the both of us, Kovu added as he distracted the herd of buffaloes to move on as the calf was lost. Zubri then started to sneak up onto it. Zubri then leaped and pounced on the calf and held it down until the calf stopped struggling to get free. Kovu was impressed of what Zubri did. He had a great feeling of Zubri being the next king when Kovu passed on. Nice one, Zubri. That must have been the best shot you ever did, Kovu praised the adolescent lion as the two lions were sharing their meal. Meanwhile in the Pride Lands, Belle and Johari were going for their first hunt together, with Banu and Kiara with them, of course. Everything seems to be going well. Belle and Johari, come here, Banu called as the two lionesses both did what they were told. They stumbled upon a herd of zebras. Now, girls, when me and Banu start to chase after the zebras, you two follow our lead and try to bite at the neck and the head, Kiara instructed the girls. All right, Mom, we'll do, Belle replied. Yes, Kiara, Johari said. The girls all watched Kiara and Banu sneaking around the herd when they were about to begin the chase. Suddenly the chase had begun. Kiara and Banu began run after the herd of zebras while Belle and Johari ran after them. As the lionesses were on their hunt, Kiara stepped on a bear trap and she cried out in pain. Banu, along with Johari and Belle, stopped when they saw Kiara was stuck. Mom, what happened? Belle asked her mother. My foot's caught, Kiara moaned in pain, seeing the bear trap had got Kiara's back right foot. Banu had to do something, so she couldn't leave Kiara alone with Johari and Belle. I think I might have an idea, Johari said as she grabbed the stick and tried to wedge it between the bear trap. But it didn't work. Then Hector walked around with his hunting rifle. He was with his papa when he saw the lionesses. Hector's papa was about to shoot Kiara. Papa, no! Hector said as he was trying to fight with his father with the hunting rifle. Don't shoot them! Hector, this is what we hunters do. We've caught a lioness for her fur. Hector's father was about to fight with Hector when Belle and Johari stood right in front of Kiara. The two felines both gave out sorrowful looks. Belle would be lost without her mother, and Johari would be lost without the queen. Please, Papa, don't kill any of these lions. They were the ones that I made friends with. Plus, they saved me when I got stuck, Hector replied. He pointed at Belle and Johari as the two felines helped them as cubs. Please get the hunters not to shoot them. They don't deserve to be killed, Hector pleaded with his father. Of course, his father looked at Hector, and then he looked at Kiara along with Banu, Johari, and Belle. He then sighed and patted his son's shoulder. All right, Hector, I'll free them, their mother and the queen, Hector's papa replied. He walked up towards Kiara and released the bear trap and freed her. And then and then Hector picked up a remaining unalarmed bear traps. Belle sat down and licked Hector's hand. Well, we should let these lions be, Papa. If we hunt them down, there'll be more hell than we fought, Hector said as his father bandaged up Kiara's foot. I'll tell the other hunters that. For now on, Hector, we won't hunt down any more lions, Hector's papa said as Zubri and Kovu showed up about a couple feet away from the humans. Kiara limped towards the two lions. Hector looked to see that Kovu is Kiara's mate and Belle's father, and the two lions checked on Kiara while Hector and his papa stared at the lions. They both smiled at the lions as they headed back to their camp. You two okay? You okay? Kovu asked Kiara. Then he noticed that Kiara had a bandage on her foot. Yeah, I'm fine, Kiara replied to her mate. The humans freed her, Dad. It's okay, Belle said to Kovu. Hector was the boy that we saved him when me, Zubri, and Johari were cubs. He stopped at one of the hunters from killing our mom, and they also freed her. It's true, Kovu. I was there, Banu added. Well, at least they won't be bothering us anymore, Kovu sighed in relief. Zubri, how was the patrol? Belle asked as she nuzzled her boyfriend's nose. It was great. I hunted down a buffalo calf, Zubri replied as he gave Belle's nose a lick. His girlfriend chuckled at this. We'll all head home. I'm glad all the hunters will be leaving us alone, Kiara said to her pride. A few days later, Belle was wandering around the Pride Lands on a sunny day. She was almost an adult. She ended up in a stream where she began to drink. But however, Zubri looked over the grassy meadows to see Belle drinking from the stream. So he walked up to her when he slipped on mud and fell into the stream. Belle looked up and chuckled. Zubri looked at Belle with a smile on his face. He shook himself dry when he walked up to his future queen. No need to be embarrassed, Belle said to Zubri with a chuckle. There's no one here but us. I know, Belle, Zubri replied as he walked up to Belle. Just wondering about what you were up to. Just strolling around the Pride Lands. Want to make sure it's safe, Belle replied as Zubri sat beside her. Johari told me that she's part of the Lion Guard now. She told me this morning, Zubri said to Belle, and as she looked up at him, I had a feeling she would. I can see her being part of the Lion Guard. Belle then looked up to see Kiara on the other side of the stream. The two lions ran across the stream. They ran up to Kiara, who had a sad look on her face. Mother, what's wrong? Belle asked. Belle, your grandmother isn't doing well, Kiara said sadly.